You're listening to The Passion Project, a podcast based around entrepreneurship, mindset, and personal development. The Passion Project was created to help guide, inspire, and educate listeners while delving deeper into the minds of like-minded individuals. Please welcome your hosts, Dan Holden and Jaron Vell. Just thought I'd pop in here quickly and just put a quick disclaimer in. This was filmed a couple months ago, and obviously the market since then has done a complete backflip. So there's some things in this podcast that may not be 100% relevant to now. So please keep that in mind that this was recorded a little while ago. Flynn has also now released his alpha group. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to find out more about that. There is people in there still making money despite the current market, and a lot of the knowledge and information in this podcast is still 100% relevant. Enjoy. Hey guys, what is up, and welcome to episode potentially 7. We've actually lost track, but we believe it is episode 7. Today, myself, Dan, and Jaron are sat here with Flynn. How do you say your last name?
Howitt.
Yeah. Today we're sat here with Flynn Howitt. So Flynn is a photographer, UCG content creator, NFTs, crypto, and all around just good guy. So what's up, bro? How are you?
Good, man. Good. I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming down. So you actually moved down here from Perth,
a week ago.
A week ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I always followed you, and then I seen that you moved down here, and I was like, hang on a minute. I want to see if he wants to come on the potty, because I thought you were just down here on a holiday.
Yeah, no, I just kind of, out of nowhere, my partner and I saw the opportunity.
Yep.
And I don't know, we'd been in WA for the last year.
Yep.
We like change. So we just jumped at the opportunity and came over.
Yeah, sweet. What do you think of it so far?
Wicked.
Yeah,
Wicked.
cool.
I love the trees. There's trees everywhere.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
it's
no
pretty
trees
nice.
in WA.
No, there is, but it's just like, man, I just feel like it's desert everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just like so dry. But here's just so like luscious and tropical. It's great.
Yeah, a bit more of a tropical.
You are at Noosa too, so Noosa's like...
Yeah, exactly.
Noosa
yeah, you picked a good part to go to.
Yeah,
Noosa is prime Sunshine Coast.
It looks it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome. So what we usually do is we sort of just delve a little bit into the childhood. So if you want to give us like a brief rundown of all that stuff, and then towards the middle of the episode or whatever, I really want to dive into some crypto and NFT stuff, because I know that I'm not super knowledgeable on NFTs and that sort of space, but I would love to learn from somebody that does know, and maybe Darren can get some advice.
No, I'm keen. That'd be
so
fun.
he doesn't buy another crazy koala NFT. All right, so yeah, just sort of give us a bit of a rundown.
So I grew up on an island, the Cocos Keeling Islands.
Yep.
If you know where that is. If you don't, for anyone that doesn't, it's
Is it near Christmas Island?
near Christmas Island. So it's right next to Christmas Island, just below Indo. And so I grew up there, lived there for about 8 years of my life.
Yep.
Family of 9.
Yep.
Which is a big family. But yeah.
Whoa, that is a big family.
So yeah, we just moved over there, and my brother and I are super close, and he's 23, I'm 21, and we kind of just grew up there surfing every day, just living our best life, trying to at
So
least.
do you guys mean close as in like you guys are like relationship wise? You guys have like a really tight relationship?
As in like business ideas, friends, family, life, like everything we just chat about. It's great.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because me and my brother got a close relationship as well. And not maybe like we don't talk about like, oh, yeah, I guess we do. I just don't see him as much. But like, do you think that's because you grew up on an island? Does that sound weird? I don't know. Do you think that's because like, or is my perception of an island like there's only 2 people on there?
Oh man, dead set. Some of these islands, like Cocos is like an asshole of 27 different islands.
Yeah.
And one of them is dead set, probably as big as this room. And so you just go there for the day
really?
with your mates and just hang out on that one island. And there's nothing but like one palm tree. It's like the typical island that, you know, where you like draw an island as a kid and you do that one palm tree?
Like on the cartoons.
Yeah, that's dead set what it was.
Really?
But then obviously there's all the other islands which are a bit bigger. I think the biggest one was like 11K long and like 2K wide, which isn't that big, but
No,
it's
not
pretty
at
cool.
all.
But yeah, in regards to how we feel connected, I don't know if it is from the island. It could be. I don't know, but my whole family's quite close.
Yeah, okay,
in general.
cool. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely connected and bonded on like the surfing and the photography and videography and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sweet. That's cool. So what age did you get into photography? Was that through the island?
Yeah, so we went to the island and it's pretty hard not to take a good photo.
Yeah.
Any corner you turn, you're like, oh, good photo.
Yep.
So I was probably 16 when I really started getting into it. Obviously when I was like 14, 13, 12, that kind of where you have like the first GoPro and you're filming like backflips on the trampoline and shit like that. But yeah, pretty much got into it properly when I was 16. Got pretty excited with it all and started messaging brands being like, yo guys, you want to work with me? I live on this island, tropical blue water, like surely, come on.
How do you even send a package to this island? Like
In my
head, I'm just picturing just like a big sand island with grass and dirt on it, and you guys are just living in a hut, or is it like a full-fledged house? Like you said, you have a trampoline. How do you get a trampoline to the island?
So yeah, it's a proper island. Like has an airport, has like a port where you can have like a ship comes in every 3 months to bring in supplies and that kind of stuff. It's actually like the history of it was owned by the Clooney's Ross family, and they pretty much like ran a coconut plantation there.
All right.
Which is cool.
Yeah, wow, that's so
I won't
cool.
go too far into the history because I don't know it that well.
Yeah,
but that, and then it's also like a military base for Australia. So it's like the furthest point of Australia, which is a super good location for him to have a little base.
Yeah, right.
Which is cool.
Yeah, wow. So how long would it take you to get a package? So you would reach out to brands.
Yeah, it'd probably take like 3 weeks earliest.
Oh, it's not even that bad.
Yeah, well, I thought it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this takes forever.
That's
But that's all right.
I live on the Sunshine Coast, and they lose my package every 2 packages. They lose it, and it takes 3 weeks to get back to me anyway. So you started reaching out to brands. At what age were you then, and how long had you been doing videography for, and all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I was probably 16, started.
Yeah.
My brother was 18 and kind of started getting in the space as well.
Yeah.
My brother was probably more in the videography space, and I was in the photography space. I just hated editing these long videos. That's just like not a fan.
Yeah.
And then, we kind of just the typical photographer kind of Instagram influencers. Where we looked up to guys like Alex Hayes and Jay Alvarez and all those kind of guys.
Have you ever met Alex Hayes?
No.
I did.
I have spoken to him a few times.
It was the weirdest thing.
Was it?
Yeah, I went on this road trip. Sorry to take us off the thing. You'll notice I do this a lot, but went on this road trip for schoolies, and we're just out climbing rocks. Like, not climbing rocks, but we're trying to get to this cliff jumping spot. And, like, I can't even remember what happened, but somehow we just met up with Alex Hayes, Matt Laycock, Tyler Henley, and a few other, guys.
Shit.
And then we just
the OGs.
collaborated in with like whatever they were doing. They were just like, yeah, just come with us. We'll show you where you go.
Oh, I love
something happened. And
for cliff jumping?
Yeah, and we all just went cliff jumping.
I love that.
I didn't even really realize. I knew who Alex Hayes was, but it didn't click until like I got home.
Yeah.
I was like tagging everyone in my Instagram story.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Alex Hayes, let's go.
I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even really know. And then people were swiping up on my screen like, oh my God, you met Alex Hayes? And I was like, who the fuck is like this guy? Like, why is everyone like, and I like had a look and I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, I guess a few people know him then.
I love that.
Did you and your brother have like sort of a catalyst that kind of got you into that space, or did you kind of just stumble across it? Because like most of the time when people kind of get into that entrepreneurial stage, they might like find a book, or they might have a specific influencer they may look to, and it's generally the same with photography. Like I know for me, I watched a lot of Peter McKinnon, Chris Howe, and all that. So did you and your brother have a, sort of a catalyst like that to get you in that space?
So my parents were lucky enough that they brought us up in a very entrepreneurial mindset. So they're both teachers. Both went to uni, that kind of thing. But with us going through school, they were always like, either go to uni or don't go to uni. Your choice. Like completely your choice. We'll support you no matter what. And so at a young age, Dad was always pushing us to start our own businesses and things like that. So at 12 years old, I had my first honey business. And so I'd buy honey off my granddad for like $3 a kilo, which is absurd.
That's really cheap.
I think I don't even know why he did it. He was losing money.
Literally.
But I'd buy it off him for $3 a kilo. And then I would take it, I'd package it in my own packaging. And then I'd go to the grocery store and be like, I'll give you guys $1 if you guys can sell this for $6. And I would just give them a ton of them. And so pretty much by the end, I'll give them like $24 every time I need a refill. And I would come out with like a couple $100, which is cool.
Wow.
That is sick.
At like 11, 12 years old. And then, probably in the first year, I made like 2-3 grand at that age. And I was just like, this is freaking crazy. Like, why is no one else making businesses at this age?
Yeah.
Your grandpa's sitting there counting his last nickel.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, how am I going to put food on the table?"
Dead set. But yeah, it got to the end of that venture and I was kind of getting bored of it. And so I ended up selling it to my sister, my youngest sister, for $300. The whole
sold a
business.
business
Yeah,
at
I
age
sold the whole
11.
business.
Dude, that's a crazy story.
But yeah,
That is
it's wild.
sick.
So yeah, I was lucky enough to grow up in that kind of sense. And so all my other siblings were doing different things. Like my two brothers, younger brothers, at the age of like 6 and 8, they were pretty much buying a whole lot of lollies from the shop and putting it in like lolly bags and just selling lolly bags at like, we always played like sports. So they would go to the sports matches and just run around trying to sell them
Yeah, I
for like
used to do that
$2
at
a bag.
school.
They would just make bank at like 6 and 8 years old. It's crazy.
That's
And so,
crazy.
yeah, we kind of, that's the catalyst, is like we grew up in that very entrepreneurial mindset. And then from there, we've kind of always just looked for opportunity, looked for, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. That's crazy.
sick. So you'd have kind of like a very strong foundation already like built in.
To
sort
an
of thing.
extent. Everyone's got their limiting beliefs and things like that.
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
grown up with.
100%.
But yeah, I'd like to say that we just were lucky enough that our parents were kind of onto it early.
Yeah, cool. That's good. So did they have businesses or just teachers with the right mindset to do it? Or
So they were both teachers, but on the side, they were doing a network marketing business.
cool. Yeah.
And so that kind of got them into the whole personal development space. And we were obviously watching them just like hustling, like their arse off. They'd work all day teaching. Mum was looking after kids at the time. So dad was teaching, mum was always doing the business.
Yep.
And then when dad would get home, he would just start the business as well. And so they were just like hustling a couple years straight and got to the point where they were able to quit their jobs.
Yep.
And then after a while, I think the company just kind of like the founders or something cooked it a bit. And so they just had to like step back into teaching and that kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah.
So it was just like being around that environment, I guess subconsciously sort of just wore off on you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's sick. You mentioned when we were talking earlier, you started selling like theme pages and stuff, which is something I relate
Yeah.
to. So how old were you when you were doing that?
Yeah, similar thing. I think I was like 14, 15.
Right, okay.
Wow.
So was that just before or after? That would have been after the honey business.
After the
Yeah.
honey, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like 11 for the honey.
Yep.
And then there was actually another business between our family in the middle of that as well, which was like curb painting. So you'd go to the
no
knock on
way.
people's houses and
Yep.
you'd be like, hey, would you like your number on the curb? And they'll be like,
I've
what the
seen
hell?
that. Yeah.
You're like, we can make it glow in the dark. And then they're like, yo, let's do it.
God damn it, I'm sold.
Yeah. So we'd sell them for like $20 a curb and it would take us like 15, 20 minutes. And we'd just like smash out a whole neighborhood in like 2 days.
That's better
And
than
then
my
go to the
pay
next.
rate now.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So you were doing that and then you moved into the Instagram sort of stuff?
And then, yeah, went into the Instagram stuff where
How-
we just...
How
building
did you get
pages.
onto that?
The Instagram stuff?
Yeah, like...
I think my brother, he was
Okay.
just always watching the space and always looking for opportunity, and that's kind of where he was at.
Yeah.
I was very much like doing things in person, being there and that kind of thing. He was very much like internet, like there's so much opportunity in there and that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, jumped in it and he started growing a very island vibe kind of page where we could post half our photos were islands. The other half
yeah.
was just other people's photos where we would credit them.
Yeah,
And so
okay.
we'd start growing pages like that. And
Yeah.
then I did a similar thing. I actually can't remember the name of mine, hey. I think it was like, I can't even remember.
Man, it's hard to grow a theme page nowadays.
Traveling the globe, I think it was.
Yeah, right.
So hard now, hey.
Oh, dude. Like, back then, it used to, like, it wasn't easy, but it was, like, it was a lot easier than it is now. Like, you could put hashtags and you'd
Yeah,
get, like...
Hashtags would blow you
Yeah,
up.
you would get, like, 100 follows or, like, plus.
Yeah, it would have been pretty fresh back then. It would have been, what, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
So, like,
Long time.
2015?
And
Yeah.
that's back when, like,
That's
if
like
people
the
followed you,
real-
they would see what you were posting too. Like, now it's just, like...
The
Yeah.
algorithm's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was
spread
like
everyone.
the real peak and, like, real uphill trend for
That's it.
social media.
Yeah, legit. That's like Alex Hayes, Jay Alvarez, all those kind of guys. That's where they kind of just like blew up.
Blew up.
That's kind
yeah.
of, they were my inspiration, like coming into the space. which
Wow,
is
that's
cool.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And then yeah, for the pages, we pretty much, I got this page to like 40K in like 6 months, just like completely
Whoa.
organic,
Yeah.
which is cool. And then just kept getting messages of people being like, "Yo, you looking to sell your page?" And I was just like, "No way! Like I'm gonna use this forever."
I used to be that guy.
And then-
Like, you want to sell your page?
Yeah, legit. And then after a while, this one guy just messaged and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to throw a number at him. So I was like, yeah, $2,000 at 14, 15. And this guy's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, Are you trying to scam me? Like, this isn't real.
Should have I said more?
Yeah, legit. And my brother at the time hadn't sold a page, but he had like a page at 100K at the time, and he just wasn't selling. So I was trying to like do the same as him.
Yeah.
And he was always like, "Oh, don't sell it. And then I ended up just like, stuff it, I'm going to sell it. So I made my own PayPal account, all this kind of stuff. And I somehow, like, obviously with most transactions that you do, you get the money first, then you give the product.
Yeah.
Same thing with this, but for Instagram, you always want a middleman.
Yeah.
We didn't have one, and I somehow convinced this guy to send me the money first. So I 100% could have just kept the account. Not that I do that, but yeah, pretty much he paid me $2,000, and then I sent the account over. He took the account, and I'm pretty sure it's been like banned or something now. Like I just can't find it anywhere. I've looked for the last 3 years. It's crazy.
Been wiped.
Yeah, and then that money in the PayPal, because I was 15, got locked, and they're like, "Sorry, we're gonna hold this until you prove that you're 18." And I was like, "No, I can't do that." Like,
I know where this is going.
I'm screwed. And yeah, for like 6 months, I was just terrified to like let them know that I'm 15. And so I just didn't do anything. And then after that 6 months, I was just like, this $2,000's just sitting here. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so I ended up messaging one of the PayPal crew on Facebook, just finding one of their fucking works. I don't even know how I did it. Just being like, yo, I'm 15. I have money in the account. I screwed up. I know. What do I do? And he's just like, oh, you just get your parents to log in and
put all their details,
let them know what you did and that kind of thing. And they'll just send the money to your parents. And I'm like, 6 months? What? And so... anyways, got it sent over and then kept going from there.
Did you guys ever like truly understand the value? Like, did you ever think that you could sell these pages for that much?
No. So that's the thing, is like I had no idea what they would sell for. So when this guy asked, I just threw a number. I was expecting like $500. Like I was expecting a counter, and he didn't counter, and I was like, oh shit. Okay.
And were you guys using it for like any e-com affiliation, or were you planning on selling advertising spaces? Like,
I dabbled in e-com a bit, but I just didn't vibe with it. Jai, my brother's actually got a few businesses. One is in the e-com space, which is a rug brand, pretty much. And so it's just like going all in on that. And crazy story. So he had the Instagram account with like 150,000 followers, had it the whole time, didn't post on it for a couple of years, that kind of thing, and then started getting back into it. It was very island style. And then he created this business called Naming This Later, which is a rug brand. And he pretty much converted that Instagram account into his business account. So now he's got like a rug brand with over 150K followers.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. And
Yeah,
so
that is
I guess
cool.
5 years of work has finally paid off into going into something that's like the future for what he's wanting, which is cool. But yeah, it's cool.
It's cool to see that like transition from like not really having a direction with it, but still just like working and hustling on it. To like it eventually paying off and being like something tangible for him.
100%.
Because that's like a lot of social proof, and it's a real followers too, so it looks good. And it's probably like a similar target niche as well, because most people that are like the island sort of like people also would buy like, I'm assuming they're not just like rugs that you
No, they're like full island style, kind of like throw rugs.
So they're not like a rug that you just put in your lounge room.
You can do that as well.
Well, you could put it in your lounge room, but like it's not like...
No, they're mainly like picnic kind of rugs.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of so that would be like spot on target audience for that.
And 100%. It was all just island people, beach goers, picnic goers, surfers, all that like perfect target audience.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. So when did you move from there, and what was the reason for that?
We probably moved. So I'm 21 now. Moved end of 19.
Oh shit! So not even that long ago.
Yeah, no. So like my whole teenage years was there.
Wow. So did you start your like? What was it after the Instagram? Did you get into like you were doing your photography at that point?
Yeah.
Did you take that anywhere over there? Or
no, I was just doing like brand deals. So brands would send me board shorts, and I would shoot from jewelry. I would shoot from that kind of thing. I was also just working in a bar and a cafe and just living it up. It was great.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, cool. And then you moved over to Australia?
Yeah. So WA. So moved to Perth.
Is this island in Australia?
Yeah,
It's
the island's part of Australia.
It
Yeah.
is part of
Yeah.
Australia.
Never used to be. That's the history of it. So
Oh, okay.
technically, Australia stole the island from the Clooney's Ross family.
Yeah.
And to blow your minds even more, my brother's girlfriend is a Clooney's Ross. So her ancestors own the island,
Whoa.
which is pretty cool. So just, anyway.
So did you roll around the island and you're like, yo, I know somebody that owns this. Don't talk to me like that.
You know how it is. No, it's
You had
good.
full access to the island.
Yeah, legit. No, it's cool. They don't own it anymore,
Yeah.
but they do have a say in a few things over there.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So when you moved to, I'm going to say mainland Australia,
Yeah.
you moved to Perth.
Yeah.
And what was the reason for that?
So when we were living on Cocos, my parents had like a teaching contract for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so they would teach for 4 years and then they would leave the island, or they could renew their contract.
Yeah.
And so after that 4 years, they were kind of just like ready to head off island. The island's pretty small, so you have to get off the island once in a while, otherwise you go a bit crazy.
Go crazy, literally.
For me, not so much, because just surfing all the time. But for my parents, it was just for like, they would work, they would kite surf, they would do a few things. But it's like when you're there for a long time, you just got a bit
same shit,
that
different
crazy.
day sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we're just ready for opportunity. And we saw Perth as the hub for that. We had a lot of friends, or at least people we saw on Instagram, that we were going to make our friends in Perth, that were photographers and videographers and working online and that kind of thing. And that's exactly where we wanted to go into. So we moved to Freo in Perth, Fremantle, and went at it.
Yeah, sweet. So what did you do? What did you transition to, like, when you came to Perth?
Work-wise?
Yeah.
So I came over and always had little things on the side, just going, trying to hustle. I was already in the crypto space at that point.
Yeah.
And starting to get in the NFT space.
Yeah.
But I was just working at a cafe, baristering.
In
couple days a
2019,
week.
you were getting into the NFT space.
Yeah.
So you've been at it for a minute.
2000, start of 2020. I got
Right,
into it.
okay. So that's before all the hype hit.
That's about
so
the same time as me.
Really?
I got in kind of early back then. Completely different scale though.
Yeah.
I was still in school at
In
that point.
NFTs?
Crypto.
No, in crypto.
Oh, in crypto.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I got
okay.
into crypto start of,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
what year are we? 2022?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, so about 2.5 years ago,
I
I
lose
started
track,
getting into
bro, I don't
crypto when it was at a bit of a quiet time. And I was pretty lucky at the timing that I got in. So my dad was getting pretty excited about it. I'd obviously heard about it in 2017
Yeah.
when there was the big boom and everyone going crazy and then
Yeah,
the big
yeah.
crash and that kind of thing. Heard about it and was interested in it. I was just felt too young to get into it.
Yeah.
And then when the opportunity arose again, where my dad actually bought into a course that was like $5,000 for this course.
Yep.
So he just invested in this course that
Yep.
was all about crypto. And through that, he would teach me pretty much just like pass on the information from that.
Yep.
And yeah, at the time I invested like $2-3 into crypto, which doesn't seem like a lot. But at
Yep.
the time I was just like, I don't want to put too much in because I don't understand this enough yet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
it.
And so I pretty much made a portfolio of like 10 to 15 coins
Yep.
and just locked it in and knew I was going to leave it in for at least a year.
Yep.
Just because tax-wise, it's just it's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, left it in for a year. And within that year, that's when everyone started just going crazy about it. So my portfolio did like an 8-10x in 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like-
Jeez.
I was like, what the fuck?
So
This
that
is
hype,
crazy.
that hype train hit, and
Yeah.
then sort of just like, and then after that so in that year that you had it there, were you actively trading, or were you just literally
No,
leaving it there?
I left it. Like
Didn't research it or
I
anything.
did put more in. Like every month, I'd put a little bit more in.
Okay. Yeah.
But so I had my initial portfolio,
Yep.
which I didn't touch for a year because there's two different taxes. There's capital gains tax. There's long-term capital gains
Yeah.
tax and short-term.
Yeah.
So short-term, you obviously have to pay the full amount of tax on it. Long-term,
Yeah.
you can halve that,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yep.
So I knew that in my head, and I was going in at long-term.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Sweet.
And obviously, if you don't know how to trade, you're going to lose your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know how to trade. I was going to lose all my money if I did that. And then I had a second account, which was my trading account, which I put a couple $100 in just to play around with it. So I had my long-term and short-term.
Yep.
And so my short-term, I actually ended up, obviously because we were going into the bull run, I ended up making a decent amount on that as well.
Yep.
But I wouldn't recommend trading for anyone new to the space. It's a dangerous world out there.
So you got into the crypto. At what point did you really? Because I know that you're really into it now.
Yeah.
At what point did you like At what point did you be like, okay, this is my thing? Because would you say it's your thing?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
honestly, I would like, out of everything, I'd probably say crypto and NFT is my thing. It's like the most information I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
At what point did you realize that that was your thing and that you wanted to like double down on it and excel in that area?
honestly, probably start of COVID.
Yeah.
When COVID first started, I was just like, man, I need like something that can not have ties to anything. So I didn't want to, like, for my barista work, I didn't want to be stuck there and potentially lose my job or potentially not being able to work there because everyone's sick or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. And so I wanted to be completely reliant on myself. And so I saw crypto and NFTs as a gateway to that.
Yeah. Okay.
So you were kind of chasing like something that could provide you with financial, time, and location freedom, kind of all in the same one.
Yeah. And so, yeah, pretty much just like head down, bum up, was researching every coin there was, finding some crazy ones, and just went all in. Like, literally all in. Like, my savings wasn't saving, it was crypto. Like, that's how far in I went. I would say I was probably lucky in the sense that I was a bit earlier than most.
Yeah.
And so I had the high, I took a couple profits, and then I've had the dip, and everyone's still in the dip.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gone up and down, flatlined for a bit, but I'm not too worried because I see everything that I've learned has actually realized that this could potentially be the future. And so I'm not worried in the short term because I know the long-term vision of it.
Yeah, 100%. And you only lose when you sell. That's
Exactly.
what they always say.
Exactly. The simplest way to think about it.
So when you that doesn't work for your NFT though. When like how many hours a week would you say that you put into researching it all?
I don't know about a week, but
I guess it would fluctuate so much.
like I'm probably putting in 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yeah, wow.
Like dead set, just not necessarily researching every day, but being in the space.
Just being in the space
So
and gathering information and hearing what people are saying,
Yeah.
everything like
So I'm
that.
very much in like Twitter is the hub for NFTs.
Yeah.
Twitter is the hub. Like if you see an NFT on Instagram, don't go near it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like mainstream in Instagram yet. Like Twitter is where you'll find all your information, and it's just like the
It's a
community
real
is there.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a dabble on Twitter and seen some NFT stuff, and it's a lot more. Instagram's so like fugazi, just like it's all hyped up bullshit.
Well, I think a lot of people that were in the space and understood the space went to Twitter, whereas now that it's kind of coming to Instagram, it's everyone that doesn't understand it that's seeing it. So it's like hard to know whether it's good or bad in a way.
Yeah. So what makes a good? I know this is such a broad question. Actually, quick, I want to rewind.
Yeah.
If there's somebody listening that wants to get into like crypto investing, what is? And I know you're not a financial advisor, obviously.
Not
like
one bit.
specify that.
Do not listen to anything I'm about to say and take everything as a grain of salt.
Yeah, definitely. And do your own research on everything. But what would be like your, I don't know if you can say advice, but if you were to start again in today's market, how would you go about investing into crypto and getting into everything there?
Yeah, once again, not financial advice. I would, if I was to go like dead broke and I had, actually that's not dead broke. If I had nothing and I had like $2,000 in my savings, what I'll do is honestly look for an alpha group kind of thing where I can invest $500,000 into that group, which is full of like people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll join that group and be a part of it, be in the community, and pretty much just learn as much as I can, research as much as I can.
Yeah.
And from those groups, that is expanding your knowledge, not necessarily your wealth.
Yeah,
but in the long
definitely.
term, having the knowledge will expand your wealth.
Well, knowledge is wealth at the end of the day.
Exactly.
If
So
implemented in the correct ways.
yeah. And so I would invest in an alpha group. I wouldn't say more than a couple $100. You can find some pretty decent ones for pretty cheap.
Yep.
And then from there, I would look at all the recommendations that they're giving, learn in the space, and then just start researching. I would invest in the company. So each crypto coin has a company backing it. So it's similar to stocks. You're pretty much just investing in that company.
Yeah.
Or you can trade it and read the graph and all that kind of stuff. but the simplest and easiest way is just to invest in that company.
So it's basically just like a company, and owning a piece of their NFT is like owning their stocks.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's where some people fall into a bit of a trap with crypto as well, because a lot of people think that all cryptos are a digital currency, whereas, yes, they kind of are. That's the broad term we use for it. But take Ethereum, for example. It's more so investing into a technology.
Yep.
Ethereum is a software that's used to run crypto spaces, servers, transaction systems, and things like that.
Well, it's
100%.
like, that's their they're considered projects. Is that right?
Yeah, you can. I call them so many different things.
Yeah, okay.
Projects, collections.
Because like a lot of them
Depends
have
if
a
it's an
roadmap on what they're like working towards, and like
Yeah.
when you buy certain coins, certain ones are doing this and that, and all
Yeah.
different sorts of things.
Yeah, so when I'm investing myself,
Yeah.
I will find the coin.
Yep.
Look at the graph. You always just have a quick look at the graph for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And then you look at the team.
Yeah.
So you want to check who the founders are. Have they been successful in other projects, other companies, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Are they partnered or well networked?
Yeah.
Like, who do they know? And then you want to see if they have a decent track record. If they're brand new people, it's pretty hard to trust them and know that they're going to succeed, or know that they have the drive to make this work.
Yeah, definitely.
And then from there, you start looking at the community, you start looking at their roadmap, and whether they have a plan for the future of the project. And if they don't, why would you invest?
Yeah.
You want to check on the community, because the community are the ones that determine the value.
Well, that's right, because it's worth what, like supply and demand and what the community like. Because the thing with NFTs is that when so many people, like when it's all held by the community, they're the ones that determine the price.
Yeah.
Like it's
Exactly.
supply and demand
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So if the community is super fucking loyal, then it's going to make the NFTs more valuable because the people are loyal to that company.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's actually a really great example for this. So I just recently invested in these things called Quirkies.
Yeah.
And they're probably my favorite NFT right now, just because they're like the art, super vibey.
This podcast is sponsored by Quirkies NFTs.
Legit. They're pretty much just complete community. Like, as in, it is one big family. If you join the Discord and the Twitter, you'll see what I mean. They started off pretty small. I bought in at like 0.1 ETH, which is $300-400 US. Just kind of buying in because the art looked cool. I saw that the community was pretty pumped up about this NFT. And I had a look at the founders. He previously had a successful other NFT collection, which is cool. And so, I just jumped in. Only bought one, sadly. But now that collection ended up getting to, I think it was like 3.5 ETH in like 3 months of them launching.
Like floor price.
Floor price, yeah. So as in, I bought it at 0.1, which was the floor price. I ended up getting like a decent rare one kind of thing. It got up to 3.5. Now I think it's dropped to like 2.8 or something. But man, these things are crazy. And the biggest reason for it going crazy was the community. Like, as in, they were all in Twitter. Like, every time someone posted, being like, what NFT should I buy? Like, a big guy, like, with 100K followers, he'd be like, what NFT should I buy? And then all these fucking Quirkies would just go there and be like, yo, you know what to look at. Like,
come to us.
you know where we're at.
Yeah.
And yeah, as that kind of went on, more and more bigger players came into the game. So, as you guys would know, Bored Ape Yacht Club is like one of the biggest NFT collections in the world. It is the biggest. And you can actually see the holder ratio for Quirkies. And you can...
I was looking at their NFT project before, and it's something like $1,950,000,000 has been traded worth of like
100%. It would probably be more than that, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure.
That is insane.
It is absurd. And it is crazy. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It is that
At the same time, it
community
kinda does.
vibe.
That's
though.
literally what you said. That
Because-
just doesn't make sense, because I was looking at like Face Banks is like MetaMask, whatever it's called, wallet. Yeah. And I was just like, Jaren's like, you're looking at like $4-5 million right now. Like,
You'd be
minimum,
looking at more than that.
Like, no, just on the one page.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, how fucking
And it's
crazy
just like
is that?
all these weird, like literally digital images.
Yep.
It's
Bro,
so weird to fathom.
It's cool to think, though, that each digital image has a business behind it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
exactly
definitely.
right.
So what
It's a
is
smart contract?
What is
and
an
everything.
NFT? Exactly. It's like NFT is a digital asset that you can prove that you have ownership over that. So it doesn't even have to be an asset. It can be anything. It can be artwork. It can be a house. You can create a smart contract NFT for almost anything. This TV, I'll create one, take a picture of it, and it's mine. To an extent. But yeah, that's like the simplest version to explain what an NFT is. Yep. It's your ownership over a digital asset, digital belonging.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And those digital belongings hold value in other areas as well, though. Like, in the sense of, like, some of them have smart contracts. Like, some people are releasing NFTs that allow you to get into certain things or special events or, like...
Yeah, like Gary Vee has one for a restaurant, I think, at the moment. You need to hold a certain NFT to be able to get into and eat at his restaurant.
I've seen a few of them. I just recently saw, because I'm not sure, I haven't looked into it deep enough, but pretty much certain collections, their artwork, like for instance, Bored Ape Yacht Club, you actually own the rights to that art. As your thing, your profile.
I've seen this.
And so this guy that owns this Bored Ape Yacht Club, he owns this one NFT. He created, like what you're saying, a whole restaurant chain from this NFT. I think it's called like, I can't even remember what it's called. It's like the board burgers or some shit like that. But this guy, the whole brand is this one NFT.
And it's the photo of his NFT on all the boxes
it's
and everything.
Cool, hey? And so, he just launched that like a couple days ago. And it's like blowing up, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so like that is another step to where NFTs are going.
Oh, so the person who originally created the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like kind of imaging, so they wouldn't be able to sue him then?
No,
because he
owns...
that's cool.
In the smart contract, which is attached to the NFT. So actually the easiest way to explain it, scrap what I said before, an NFT is a JPEG, a photo, an art, whatever. Yeah. Digital contract, smart contract, put them together and you've got an NFT.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way to explain it. So in that smart contract, they write up saying that you have all rights to this NFT, this art.
Wow.
And that smart contract can't be changed.
And you get royalties depending on the smart contract, but you also get royalties when it gets resold.
Not necessarily you, but the company will.
Oh, the cheeky motherfuckers.
So
I thought I would get a royalty.
Depends on the company. So some, they can actually create that in the smart contract.
Yeah.
Where if I was to sell it to you, I get the amount that I sell it for. But then let's say you were to sell it to you, I could potentially get royalties from that. You just have to write it in the smart contract. Now, no one's done that yet that I'm aware of.
Right, okay.
So I'm keen to do that. Anyway. But yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Trademarked.
But in saying that, most collections will have like a 2.5% to up to 10% royalty fee. So if I was to sell it to you, 10% of that would go back to the company, and that's how they're sustainable.
Okay, got you. And like, I know the World of Women NFTs, I've been watching them, and I know a few people that have them.
Yeah.
They had like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a sister company that like any holders minted, or is that, if that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Minted, like they got to mint like one off-brand World of Women one for free, but still run by the same people.
Yes. So I think what, I didn't look into it too much because they're very expensive to own a World of Women right now. But they have one collection, which is the World of Women, and then they had their second collection, which I can't remember what that's called, but pretty much any of the owners here, if they had a World of Women, they would get a free mint for the next collection, which is like it's almost like an airdrop.
And that's in the smart
I was
contract.
going to say.
Yeah, and that's in the smart contract. Like any future collections we have, you will get whitelisted for this. Something like that.
Because, like, the thing is like, you buy this for, like, I don't even know what one goes for. I know they're way more than 10 ETH, but I'm just going to use 10 ETH as an example. You buy one for 10 ETH, right? And then you get in the smart contract, you get, like, another one minted in their, like, side project that they work on for free because that's in your contract. And then it's, like, one person I follow, Frankie, he has one and he got it minted, and I think the floor price like instantly jumped to like, I can't even remember what it was, but he made like 20-30 grand.
Yeah.
Or just by owning
100%. Well, how's this? So Azuki is like second, I guess, most well-known NFT brand at the moment, Azuki. It's like a Japanese style art.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're like a 20, almost 30 ETH floor.
Whoa.
But they're only like 6 months or younger than that. And they've just fucking gone crazy.
Wow.
And so I was looking at them at like 4 or 5 ETH, thinking about it. I'm like, that's way too expensive for me.
Yeah.
But,
no.
man, imagine. But pretty much craziest thing. So they had a big festival. So all these people that owned it, you could only go if you owned one. They all went to this festival and they were all partying. There was like thousands of people. And then the founder of this collection went on stage and was like giving a speech, blah, blah, blah. And when he left, he's like, oh, and check your wallets. And so they all checked their wallets and they all got airdropped a free NFT from Azuki. And that NFT was worth 30 grand off the bat.
Damn.
As in, it was another collection, but it was worth 30 grand off the bat. A free airdrop to your account. So just for owning this, you got 30 grand for free. Similar thing to Bored Ape Yacht Club. So they've just launched their ape token. I don't know if you've heard much
I've
about
seen
this.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Ape
Every
coin.
Bored Ape holder at the launch of the ape coin, they got airdropped. Can't remember how much of the ape coin they got airdropped, but it was worth $100,000 to $125,000 each person. Like that is absurd. And so some people, like there's one guy, he had like 95 Bored Apes. He got airdropped like a couple $1 million just like that.
Wow.
Crazy. And that's the potential in this, which is kind of cool.
Do you think that moving forward, everybody should be positioning themselves to own NFTs or to understand them or to be looking at investing in them?
I think
Like-
to understand them, yes. To own them now, I don't know. It's a dangerous market. It's like the Wild West of NFTs. It's like there are so many scams out there. There are so many hackers. Like, man, it's terrifying. And it's all these people that have been in technology their whole lives and they just understand the space. That's how they can take advantage of people.
Yeah.
Whereas all us new people coming into it, we don't know technology. Like we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
And so they can get taken advantage of like that. Like, I have friends that have had NFTs stolen out of their wallet like that. It's just it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to anyone though. It's the worst feeling.
And
And
you
so
just get that with everything though.
yeah, and I
feel like that's
people
everywhere
some
you
people
go.
are just not the nicest people. Hey.
Yeah.
And so I think going into it, I feel people just need to build their knowledge. I think honestly, I wish there was people that were patient enough to wait a year and in that year just research
Yeah.
and just learn how to not get scammed, learn the best collections, learn the best utility, best everything. And then from there, invest. And you will probably do well.
Yeah.
It's the people that go in blindly.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'll put my hand up first.
In
and just
saying
say
that-
that's exactly what I
In
did.
saying that, there's a second side to this, is where you get thrown into the deep end, which is where I kind of came into it. So I knew crypto. I knew NFTs were a bit of a thing. And I kind of was just like, I understand it a little bit. I'm just going to buy one. So I just bought one knowing that I could potentially lose all my money.
Well, that's what we said when. You know,
Yeah, we'd already kind of written it off.
Yeah, no,
we
exactly.
were just like, oh, that's $500. We'll just never see it again. Like,
Yeah.
and that was the mindset that you had going into it. So it's not like you didn't sit here and cry, and you're not too scared
No,
to buy into
exactly.
another NFT now because of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you would, however, do
I'd
your
make
due
sure I do
diligence.
my research for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole learning thing. The reason I'm so grateful I just jumped in the deep end is because I learnt early. Like actually, my first NFT I jumped into did all right, which I was lucky about.
Yeah.
But majority of people won't, and it's a whole learning thing. Like
Yeah.
it's great.
So, like your non-financial advice, but if you were to be when you're buying an NFT, what do you look for? And you look into the company, the founders, if they have any other
Founders,
previous.
team, make sure they're doxed. As in,
Yeah.
what that means is
Yeah.
they've revealed who they are.
all their
Public information.
Public information, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, what they can do is just completely leave the company after they've sold out, take the couple mil that they just made, and never see you again. No one knows how to follow up on them. No one knows how to sue them potentially, that kind of thing.
Well, I think
They'll just take
that's
the money and leave.
That's another thing that the crypto space has kind of been struggling with over the
Yeah.
past couple of years, just fighting governments and regulation.
Yeah.
And I think I saw the other day, I don't know whether it was Australia, but there's a country, it might have even been the States, they can now arrest people for doing rug pulls.
Yes. And that's a great thing.
Oh,
So that's
good.
actually
stoked.
pretty good for the crypto space.
I've seen that many rug pull. I own 80 to 90 different NFTs.
Whoa.
40 of them have gone to shit.
Yeah.
Majority of those I bought at the very start.
Yeah.
And I just, when I didn't really understand it much.
Yeah.
Now, in saying that, the 40 that I have that have done well, have done well.
Yeah,
So
so
it's-
have done
it's-
better than the
It's
ones
done a
you've
lot
lost.
better than the ones I've lost.
Okay, gotcha.
But the ones I've lost is when I jump in on the hype, getting excited and being
The
like, I'm
emotion.
buying in.
The
Yeah.
emotion.
Or the ones I did no research on. And I just bought in, buying in on potential art or whatever. Like, it's
Yeah.
the ones that I don't look into are the ones that screw me over.
Do you still do it to this day? And then you like checkmate yourself. You're like, all right, slow down.
Sometimes you're like, oh, you know what? It's just going to be a fun little jump in, see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're always going to into that knowing you're going to lose your money.
Yeah.
If you win, you win.
Yeah.
And I
But-
feel like there's just some very select few projects that have no utility, but the pure hype alone is
Yeah.
enough to just shoot it. And we saw a lot of that with Shiba and Dogecoin.
Yeah.
100%.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's actual utility behind those coins, but just the pure irony behind it and the all the hype.
Yeah.
I think Dogecoin is still a top 10 crypto,
Man,
and Shiba.
Elon is carrying
It's
Doge.
crazy, yeah.
Elon is carrying
Yeah.
Doge. And there potentially will be utility for Doge. I've never been a fan of what you call shit coins, just
Yeah.
because I know I have a lot of friends that lost a lot on them.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to dabble in them because I've always looked for the utility and the company and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Doge, Shibu, all those, they didn't have it. Although Doge's done well, and I'm assuming it's because Elon has just carried it hard. Like him saying that you can potentially pay with Dogecoin in the coming months, years, like that's bullish for
Yeah.
Doge. But I just don't like Doge that much.
Did you see this? At the new Tesla launch, they had like a drone show, and I
Whoa.
think, yeah, it's crazy. I won't
Oh,
show
is
the.
Doge there?
Yeah, in the drone. This is for his company too. Like he is just built different.
For the Cybertruck, it looks like.
Yeah, there it is. Look at this. And the crowd went just fucking nuts.
Oh, is it the dog? No way.
Yeah,
How have I not seen this?
Dude, that's crazy. Oh, it actually looks like Doge.
yeah.
That's
No
insane.
way.
And listen to the crowd. Oh no, I muted it. Yeah, how crazy is that?
Man, I don't even know how I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, he's literally just carrying Doge.
And that's it. Like I've never invested in crypto wise. I've never invested in those kind of shit coins just because I don't see the point in it. In saying that, I know of a few guys that only trade shit coins and they just know their shit. Like they will jump in early and they will ride it for 10x and jump out and just be
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah. And
Yeah,
like
wow.
some of these guys are freaking switched on. I'm just not quick enough to it. Hey, like I just don't understand shitcoins enough and the graphs and the charts and that kind of thing.
But it's like when you're trading at that level, though, it almost becomes a job, does it not?
Yeah,
As opposed to like an investment.
yeah, 100%. Like these guys, it's their full time thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I would like to get to the point where I am full time Web3. So the last two and a bit years, I've just constantly been building my knowledge, and then I've been helping a few friends on the side, just not financial advice. We've just jumped in on projects together and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we've done quite well out of it. And so in the future, hopefully I'll start going down that route.
There's so much like opportunity within Web3, and it's stuff that I haven't even explored yet. Mainly
Crazy.
because I haven't had time or created or allowed myself time to explore it.
Yeah.
But like just the way that it's all working, like getting paid for games and how the crypto NFT and Web3 space is all just like coming together now
Yeah.
to be just like, it's just fucking insane. Like some of the stuff in Web3 is like, I was watching a video, and this is like very basic stuff, but I was watching a video of like people that are like selling art in like these 3D worlds, and like you can now,
the metaverse.
in the metaverse, and you can now buy land in the metaverse.
Yep. It's
And
a whole
it's-
nother thing, hey.
It's just
Decentraland.
like,
Well, to give you an idea on it, 2 days ago, there was a collection called Los Murdos, and it's a Mexican kind of Spanish styled art. Like the full Mexican hat, like holding burritos and shit. It's cool artwork. Anyways, these guys I was looking at them at like a 0.07 floor, and I was like, oh, I should definitely jump on these. But at the same time, hadn't done enough research at the time. So I was like, no, I'm going to hold off. After doing a bit of research the next day, their floor price went from 0.07 to 0.6 in one day. That's like
that's
so
a big jump.
0.07 to 0.6.
Yep. So that's like 200 US to $2,000 US.
$2,000-ish, yeah.
Give or take. Now that is like in a day. And so those are the kind of things where these switched on guys will be like, they'll jump in and buy 10, 20 of them, and then they'll sell 10, 20 of them the next day.
Dip.
And they just
make a
hustling.
fat 10 bags.
But this, in regards to the metaverse, the reason this collection did well after I did my research is the founders are decent, founders are doxed, and they pretty much, to get people excited and pumped up about it, they bought 24 NFT worlds. Now, NFT worlds are like 15 ETH each. With their money that they made from this, they bought 24 of these NFT worlds, which was over I think it was over 1 mil. They invested into these NFT worlds.
Yeah.
Now, if you buy these NFT worlds, you can stake it and make world token. And so this NFT world, their collection is a whole nother NFT collection, but you can actually make tokens by staking their land. And so pretty much what this company did is they staked it. And what I'm assuming, they haven't said anything, but they've pretty much like, we're doing this to benefit the holders. What I'm assuming is they've done this, they're staking it, they're making a ton of world tokens. What they're going to do is open up staking to their own collection. And if they stake, they'll pay their holders out with world token. That's what I'm kind of, is that, I don't know if that's a bit
blowing
of
my mind.
But that's what that's the reason this is blown up.
But that's what makes NFTs so interesting, because it's so much beyond the surface level of what people think it is. Like, it's a bit of a joke that they're a JPEG.
Yeah.
Like, you paid 10 grand for a JPEG, or 100 grand, or a million.
I'll screenshot this. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, it's a bit of a joke, and we all joke around with it. But the reality is it is the way that it's moving, and it's the way that, like, the whole world is just becoming digitalized. And if you don't catch on, or if you're oblivious or obnoxious to it, then it's going to be like, you're just going to fall behind and then be wondering, what is it that the guy we know says? It's, you got like 3 people. It's the, how the fuck do I do it?
I've never heard this one before. Not gonna lie.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
Mastermind. It's how, you've got 3 type of people. It's the what the fuck just happened? How the fuck do I do it? Or something else. There's like 3 different types of people. You got the people that are like, okay, how do I do it? How do I adapt? How do I move?
Yeah.
You got the people that are just like, what is going on? And then you got the people that are like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And it's like your 3 groups of people of like, just in society, right? It's just like with everything.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's sort of like where we're at now? Would you say that we're at a pivotal point between like Web3, or do you think we're still moving towards it? I don't even know if that made any sense.
No, it did. This is my view on it all. So I see Web3 as the future.
Yeah.
I see we're transitioning into that, whether you like it or not.
We're already in it though.
We are.
Digital licenses.
We've been in it for the last 10, 12, 13 years.
Digital COVID vaccination things, digital cards, everything.
Yeah. But the difference between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3 is Web 1 was pretty much like a screen in front of you. You couldn't interact with it. You could just read.
Yeah.
Web 2 was social media, was email. That's where you log in, and that's where you
interaction
can post things, but you don't own anything.
Yeah.
You have an Instagram, yeah?
Yeah.
But that can get deleted like that.
Yeah.
Like, you have no ownership over that.
And you don't own any of the photos you put up there.
It's all centralized.
And then centralized, exactly. Yeah. And then we've got Web 3, which is decentralized, or at least transitioning into that phase where you have ownership over that. Yeah. So you have ownership to your wallet. You have ownership over these NFT assets.
Through smart contracts.
Crypto. Technically, yeah. So NFTs, yes, through smart contracts. But with crypto and all that, you have ownership on that if it's in your wallet.
Yeah.
So if it's on an exchange, you don't necessarily own that. And that's technically Web 2.
Right.
But if you want to transition into Web3, you want to get like a MetaMask wallet or something, which is technically decentralized, centralized still, but it's transitioning to be decentralized.
And I think there are some decentralized exchanges as well.
There is. And there is also, you can get like a Trezor. I don't know how to say it exactly. It's like a USB that is completely decentralized.
Oh, cold wallet.
Cold wallet.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what that is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, sweet. What would be your take on people just getting into it? Do you personally find minting or reselling is the way to go for you?
So as I've explained, I like to invest in the founders, the team, the community, the art, everything. And so it's pretty hard to get an idea of all that if they haven't launched yet. So in the sense of minting, you want to be minting, you want to look at the community, see that they've got a decent Discord, a decent Twitter. When I'm saying decent, I'm meaning like 20,000 followers minimum.
Yeah.
If you're minting, if there's not enough hype in it, it won't sell out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to lose your money. Unless the founders are well known or something like that. So right now my strategy is primarily buying into already existing collections and just completely researching everything. Usually buying longer term trades or longer term holds, sorry. But then there's also the strategy of minting where you can do your research, check that a collection is going to be super hyped up and then get whitelist for that, get into that. It's a whole different strategy. And you can potentially mint and within a day or two flip for a couple 3x or 4x. Like there's two different strategies. I started off with minting and I did okay with that, but safest bet is just buying and holding long term.
Yeah, cool. And what's your opinion on other cryptos and other platforms as well, such as Solana? Because I think there's always kind of that battle going on. Will it be Polkadot? Will it be Ethereum? Will it be Solana? Will it be Cardano? Cardano, I don't even think has an actual product or network yet, but the hype around it, everyone's saying, is it going to be the ETH killer? What's your opinion? Where do you think this whole sort of battle is going to go? Do you think there will be any definitive winner?
ADA's got a backing, doesn't it?
It does, but everything else is just doing better than it. As in like Solana, ETH, Polkadot, ADA, they're all like similar things. ETH is obviously the king.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the fastest anymore. And it's not the cheapest.
Yeah.
It's probably the most expensive.
Yeah,
but it is
the gas fees.
It's like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's clunky and it's slow and everything, but people see it as a hold of wealth.
Yeah.
They see it as the gold of
Yeah.
digital assets.
Yeah.
That's why people go for it, and that's why people will forever go for it. Now, Ethereum is the top dog of the whole DeFi area.
Yeah.
And then ADA, it's doing the same thing, but it's just not doing it as well as anything else. I'm not a fan of ADA, by the way.
Okay, that's interesting.
I am very much a fan of Solana. The fees are super cheap. I'm actually heavily looking into Solana NFTs because
you know way more than me about crypto, but do not diss ADA on my podcast. I'm joking. Keep going.
No, it's understandable. I probably shouldn't diss anything, but
No, I don't know. I'm like a bit of a noob. I know enough to get me by, but I'm just taking the piss.
I'm just not investing in ADA because I see in my research, actually it's pretty simple to see, but all these other ones like Polkadot, Solana, ETH are all doing bigger and better things than ADA.
And they got more of a like a roadmap and things that they're sort of working towards.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Not financial advice. But Solana has a lot going for it. So in the NFT space, obviously Solana is the second biggest marketplace, crypto marketplace for NFTs. And crazy, but OpenSea was primarily Ethereum based, but they've just allowed Solana NFTs to come onto their platform.
I did hear that the other day, actually.
And so
That's
I actually
pretty huge.
Heard about that a couple days earlier beforehand, like before it even happened. So bought into a couple Solana NFTs and they pumped and like did pretty well. So I've jumped out of those, but there's a whole lot that are like extremely undervalued compared to Ethereum NFTs. And you can get into them without paying anything in gas.
Yeah. Those gas fees are killer.
Comparatively to Ethereum, yeah.
Oh, bro. Ethereum's cooked. And when we go back into the bull run, right now, in my opinion, we're in the bear run. So NFTs are a whole different market to crypto. So crypto is like, historically, 4 years would be the time frame. So you would have
Yeah.
a bull run, a drop, consolidation over the next 2-3 years, and then the bull run would start again. Same thing, just kept going. This last 2 years, it's been a bit different. Still kind of tricky. I still feel like we're in the bull run and we're going to have a big future ahead of us. NFTs, though, are much shorter. So we have the bull run, goes for a couple weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, give or take. Then the bear run lasts about 8 to 10 weeks, and then we just keep doing that cycle. So right now we're in the bear run, in my opinion, and I feel like we're going to be coming into the bull run in the next 2 weeks to a month, give or take. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's sick. So I guess you said you were able to find out a few days before anyone else. That is a really good trait to have, being able to kind of not even so much predict, but at least kind of see trends before they're coming. Is there a specific way that you worked on that at all, or do you think it's just like a sixth sense? Or
with that, it all just comes with your connections.
Yeah.
So that I just knew a guy that was very much in the space. Like he's made God knows how much money in the NFT space. And this is what I mean by investing in alpha groups. Investing in people that know what they're doing.
It pays itself off so quickly.
Exactly. Like first 6 months in NFTs, I was just doing my own research, doing everything myself, because I'm like, I don't want to spend $1,000 on this alpha group. Like, what's it going to do for me? As soon as I spent that $1,000 on that alpha group, my whole world just changed. You learn things that you never thought you would learn. And so through knowing this, it wasn't through me. Yeah. It was through my networks and who I knew. And so from that, I was able to get a grasp on what the market was doing.
Yeah.
So it's not always all up to you. It's I firmly believe that networking is probably one of the biggest and best things that you can do in the space.
You know what they say? Your network is your
net worth.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, sweet. My mind is blown. Like all that, the NFT, especially the NFT space, it's just like, just gets my brain ticking.
Well, hopefully we haven't bored anyone too much.
Oh,
I know some people just don't understand it. They just they just don't go
yeah,
there.
me too. It's very interesting. Do you have any intentions of doing your own as a photographer NFTs, or like what is your standpoint on that?
Because
I know
for me.
a lot of photographers are like starting their own NFT collections from their art themselves.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of friends that have done it.
But how do they hold value in that sense?
So you're investing in the photographer.
Yeah. Okay.
So as in, if you see them as becoming a decent photographer in the future, or gaining a lot of followers in the future, that means they're going to bring more awareness around their NFT collection, especially if the future is going to be Web3. NFTs are going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
And so if they blow up, their NFTs are going to blow up, which means your investment is going to blow up. Yeah. So as in, I have a couple of friends that I've literally bought some of their NFTs for like $800 US.
Yeah.
Like absurd. Like it's huge for a JPEG of their photography.
Yeah,
that's
Instagram.
And
wow.
this
That's
isn't
a lot
even like
more than
this isn't even like a frame that
it's
you're
a lot
buying.
more than a print. Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so
and the same photos like just on their Instagram.
yeah, no, exactly. I could just screenshot it.
Yeah.
But what I'm actually investing in is not that photography. It is them as a photographer.
Person. Yep.
And so I have a couple of friends that have all done it, and I've invested in all of them because I see a bright future with them. For me personally, I don't feel like I'm in the photography space as much as I would like to be.
Yeah.
And I don't see myself as a photographer anymore.
Yep.
I'm definitely creative in that sense, and I have a camera. I still take photos. I still work for people taking photos, but I see myself more as like a primarily like Web3.
Yeah, that's
crypto
cool.
and NFTs. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be a photographer anymore.
Yeah. Would you say that you found your calling in a sense? Like it's really what you love?
Man, dude, I think
I can tell when you talk about it, you're fucking passionate about it.
As soon as you like find something that you're willing to put 5 to 10 hours a day into without just enjoying it, man. Like some days I'm working all day doing certain things in Web3, and people are like, "Fuck, how do you work like 10 hours a day doing that?" And I'm just like, I enjoy the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
I genuinely
I relate
enjoy
to
it.
that in a different way. People are like, how do you work that much? And it's like, shit, just doing what I'm doing. Like I just
exactly
just just doing my thing.
Bro.
Like, how do you sleep that long? I don't know. Like, how do you do those things?
Bro,
It's the same way that I do these
Exactly.
things.
The thing that I find really cool is that it's not even limited just to trading and NFTs as well. Like, there are actual jobs. Like, correct me if I'm wrong again, but I'm pretty sure there are people earning full-time salaries being moderators for Discord group chats
Bro.
and for NFT collections.
I'm a moderator. I'm making almost more from that than my everyday job.
How crazy is that? That's
real.
so cool.
Is there like jobs in the metaverse yet?
Yes. So to give you an example, I have a 14-year-old brother.
Yep.
As you know, we've all grown up in a very entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for opportunities for my younger siblings and older siblings, but primarily my young siblings. And I obviously know it's a very lucrative space. Like, it's very up and down. Like, sometimes it's tricky to understand. But I saw an opportunity with this. There's a crypto coin called Sandbox, one of the top top
Metaverse
tokens. Sandbox, Decentraland, all those kind of ones. But Sandbox, pretty much you buy some of their land, and in that land you can create whatever you want. Now, a lot of companies will buy the land and start creating like a game or just a world in that. But they need people to create the world. They need people to create the objects in that world. How do you do that? And so Sandbox actually has a platform where you can create your own NFTs, own objects. And so I ended up figuring this out, and
I heard something about that.
yeah.
There was, sorry to interrupt.
So
wasn't there someone who bought a Sandbox yacht
Yeah, dude.
for like millions of dollars?
Dude,
like
no,
a
it's
digital yacht
I've
for the
seen that,
Sandbox
It's
world.
a thing, man.
It's crazy.
It's a thing. And so I pretty much saw this opportunity, and I knew my brother was like, he loves gaming. He loves Minecraft and is pretty good at it.
Yep.
And so I knew that Sandbox was like a pixel kind of block kind of world in a way. And I knew Minecraft was the same. Yep. And so that's how I knew I'd kind of get him excited about it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, Chase, what are your thoughts about like just creating things similar to Minecraft and just getting paid for it? And he's like, oh, I have to love that. And I was like, sick. And then so I pretty much just gave him the opportunity, showed him how to do it. I've never made money from it myself, but I saw it as a little, why not? Give it a crack. It's all free.
Yep.
And so my brother literally took it as it went, and first week he had created his full portfolio, only of 7 to 10 different NFTs. He had created like lamp posts, like chairs, tables, dragons, wizards, like little things.
Yep.
Just for his portfolio for like a gaming world. And then he joined a couple Discords where he joined the communities, and the communities were actually Sandbox companies or companies that were buying land in the Sandbox, and they were needing people to create the world. Yeah. So Chase he's 14, got a gig with one of these guys. He just sent his portfolio being like, I can create these if you want. And the company's like, yep, we'll take you. And so he ended up getting another guy in the space and being like, we'll do this as a team. He got paid $500 in Ethereum in the first 2 weeks of starting this business.
And he's 14.
He's 14.
And he didn't leave his chair.
Didn't leave his chair. Now,
and
get
it's
this.
paid in crypto.
He said it took him 10 hours to do the job. $500. Like 14. I don't even know.
$50 an hour.
Man, this is crazy.
I'm sitting here going, how much is that an hour?
And so
and you're like, $50, thank you.
And so that's the opportunities that this can create. Now, he had 2 weeks after that where he did another gig and got another $500 for it. Now, this is a 14-year-old kid starting a business from scratch, not knowing anything. The simplest thing, making $1,000 US in Ethereum in a month. What business does that nowadays anyways? Web3 has so much opportunity, it's not even funny. I feel like if people are like, oh, you can't make money in Web3, I want to punch him in the face. Not actually, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's great. That's great I think that's great that he gets paid in Ethereum as well.
100%.
Because that gives him less incentive to take it out and more incentive to hold it. And that's just going to go up in the future.
Well, you know, the cool thing is he got paid in Ethereum, and then I was like, yo, you should diversify your portfolio. Either buy some NFTs, and I'll give you some idea of where to look, or just look into some certain cryptos. And so Chase ended up investing in like Sandbox, which is obviously what created him this money.
Yeah.
left some in ETH, and he's invested in a whole lot of other metaverse tokens, which has a bright future, in my opinion.
That's so sick.
We see.
Wow, my mind's blown.
Yeah.
I love the whole NFT space. It's so cool. It's so different.
Yeah.
I love shit that's different. It's just like, yeah, my mind is just like ticking with like ideas.
That's exactly how this is going for me. It's the beautiful. I love learning.
Yeah.
Hate studying. Love learning.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. Same.
And so for me, like, my partner is studying nutrition, and loves it. She loves it, and she's all in the fitness and health industry and all that kind of stuff. And I love that as well. But I don't think I could go to uni because you have to do tests. Half the tests are for things that you don't necessarily need to know and all this kind of stuff. So for crypto, I study, but it's for only the things that I want to learn.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, and you can't learn that sort of shit at like university. It's the same as you can't learn business, and you can't learn. Yeah. You can't learn business. You can't learn investing through university or anything. You can learn like the general principles, but like other than that, it's like we say it all the time. By the time they publish the textbooks, the world's moving so quick,
bro.
And we've seen that over COVID as well. I think it put like an emphasis on how quick the world is moving towards what you're ready for or not ready for. It doesn't matter if you're ready. It's fucking moving there now. 100%. So it's like, where are you going to position yourself and how are you going to move yourself to be ready for that new era?
Yeah, 100%. I actually have a saying for crypto. Actually, not a saying. It's just a cool way to look at crypto and NFTs and where we are with the opportunity that we have. And so if you think about it, our great-great-grandparents had the gold mine rush, gold boom. Yep. They made a shit ton of money in that era. Our parents to our grandparents had the real estate boom.
Yeah.
We came along. We didn't really have anything, really. We just had to work hard, that kind of thing. The real estate boom, still kind of a thing, but kind of ended. And so it wasn't...
We actually had the financial crisis.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's it. And so I feel the opportunity that's come up for us to make crazy amounts of wealth, if you put it in the right spot, is crypto and NFTs. In saying that, it also has the opportunity to lose all your money. Like, if you're not educated on it, you will lose.
Yeah, definitely.
To an extent.
100%, yeah.
So I think the biggest and greatest thing is get your knowledge in the space before jumping in.
And if you don't have time to do that, find people that pay the money, get the mentors,
alpha groups,
do what you need to do, alpha groups, and invest that money as opposed to just like, nah, I got it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Oh, now, to give you another number, I don't know the exact numbers, but last year, with COVID and all that, if you had $1,000 in your bank account in the US, you would have lost 7% minimum on that from depreciation. Like, that means you lost $70 just leaving your money in the account, thinking that you're saving money.
Yep.
Let's say you're making 1-2% on interest. Bro, you literally just lost 5-6% on that money. That is how I see, like, I have no money in savings.
No.
I have it in many safer assets. Like, I'm quite invested in silver and gold.
Yep.
Just because it's very safe and it will hold its value compared to leaving it in the bank. And I think with where the world's going, I feel we are changing. Man, the whole world is going into, I don't know, I feel like we're going from the US to the Chinese currency very soon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in depth with it, but just to get you guys ticking, I feel like we're having a big transition coming and just be prepared for it.
I think it is. I think we're undergoing the biggest transition in wealth.
Exactly.
In like history, like just through everything though, like even the opportunity we have is like e-commerce. Like there has never been a time where you could just start a clothing brand out of your house.
Yeah.
And
literally
advertise to millions of people on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then generate 6 figures, 7 figures in a brand.
That's it.
Like without any ads. So there's never been a time where you could do that.
It's crazy.
And you can do that now. And like I got a friend that's like, this is a little bit off track, but just on the terms of like opportunity, I got a friend that's into music and I just like does my fucking head in how he just doesn't post and shit. I'm like, man, like we are going, it won't be around forever. Like this wave of like being able to reach so many people for free is going to come and it's going to go.
Right.
It's going to get replaced by paid content like everything does, right? Like, you know, you used to be able to reach everybody on your Instagram, like we said at the start. now you got to pay to reach everybody that follows you.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen with all this as well.
100%.
And I was like, just create fucking content. I sound like Gary Vee, but I'm like, just post. Just keep posting, though. Like
Gary Vee is the GOAT.
Yeah, it's like, just keep posting, though. Seriously. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But
and that's the thing is a lot of people won't see the value in it. And you can only bring the people along that want to come.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And it's a tricky one there.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck, man. My mind is just like, my brain's just thinking about so many fucking things. That was cool, man. I've been wanting to talk to someone about NFTs for a while, so maybe obviously after the potty, we'll have to link up another time because I want to get into the market.
I'm stoked.
I want to find what I need to buy.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
No, I'm kidding. I won't.
Crazy koala.
No.
Crazy koala, let's go.
I'll give you 40 for yours.
Honestly, I'd take that.
That is a bad investment.
Okay.
No, once again, it's just a crazy space out there. And I'm very excited for what the future has to bring. It's cool.
Yeah, sweet. Well, fuck. My mind's just ticking. I got the mood. Do you have any questions? Jaren's always got questions.
I do. I actually have a question related to, you were touching base before about how you had a UGC business. Do you run, what sort of business model do you run? Do you freelance that yourself or do you run an agency model?
No, so it's all freelance at the moment. I'm selling myself.
Yeah.
Sounded very weird, actually.
That did
But yeah, no, it's pretty much I'm connecting with brands through Instagram. So I'll scroll through Instagram stories until a brand comes up as an ad.
Yep.
And if it's an ad that I like and it's a product that I would actually use, I would message them and be like, hey guys, I create UGC videos. Who can I speak to about doing this? Is this something that you do? And then they'll send me an email, and then I'll usually just send a proposal into that email and just be like, pretty much explaining what I do, sharing some previous work I've done, that kind of thing. And then from there, they'll send me the products and I'll start doing it like that. But I'm trying to sell myself as that young Aussie, blonde hair, like surfy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And so all the products I'm using are like towels, shorts, jewelry, like
stuff
clothing
that like fits your stereotype and your niche and everything.
Yeah. And so I'm super grateful for this opportunity because pretty much with all this COVID stuff and everything, I ended up leaving my job as a barista and was like, what do I do? And I've got the crypto, I've got the NFTs, but they were all, for me, long-term investments.
Yeah.
And then, my brother's just like, why don't you just create UGCs? Like, you've done it for me, because he owns a content creation agency. He's like, you've done it for me, why don't you just freelance it? And I was like, all right, I'll give it a crack. And so, I just started messaging brands, and within, like, the first month, I was already making, like, 4 times what I was making as a barista.
Wow.
I was like, this is sick. So I just kept going.
Again, though, that just comes back to the way the world is moving at the moment. It's like UCG. Like, I remember, like, commercials and stuff for, like, big brands used to be these $1 million, $100,000 sets and stuff. And then now they're just sending their product to someone on TikTok, like a famous person on TikTok, or, like, and they're just making them do something that's in their niche with it.
Yeah.
And that is now the advertising that we're getting. That's now what converts. Like, these really well shot, like even with my clothing brand and the ads I've run, these professional as fuck photos and stuff. You've gone out to a mountain and you've gone 3 days in a row to get the right lighting and all the good shots and everything.
Right.
Like, does not do as well as UCG.
It's decent for branding.
It's
photos
really
are
good for
great
branding.
but for content that converts, man, people just want to put a
Because they're
face
so
to the
used-
product.
They're so used to like these high end commercials now that it's just, you scroll past it now because it's just like, it's like UCG fits in with what everyone consumes now.
Yeah.
And like, it's like people know that when they see this like really incredible photo or this really incredible put together ad that's professionally shot, it doesn't, whereas it used to grab their attention, now they just know it's an ad and they can't be bothered. And they just keep scrolling, where it's like UCG, like the stuff that you put on your story, it just looks like I'm watching somebody's story that I know.
Yeah.
Like, because I got a few of your ads, and I'm like, oh, hang on, this is a necklace ad, or like your bracelet ad, and then I'm like, oh shit, I actually do know him. But like, you see what I mean? No, it stops me because it's just like someone that I thought. It just looks like it fits in with what it is, so and you consume it without meaning to.
It's meant to be natural. It's meant to be the customer.
Yeah.
And it's just giving like the most natural review you can.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it also comes down to human connection as well, because I think that's really another like drawback of the whole pandemic and everything that went on. Everyone now is starting to crave that human connection again. Everyone's getting sick of it, and there's a few good books on it as well, just about like it's how we've always been as humans and probably how we always will be and will function. Like at the end of the day, human beings are emotional beings, and like we all crave that human connection. So just that style of marketing has really taken the market by storm, because it's not so much just a brand anymore. It's like someone connecting to you, being like, oh, that product is really helping you overcome these problems. I have these problems too. Maybe they'll help me.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
Said exactly how it is.
No, that's good. I think it's just crazy though when you look at the world and like, you know, like the difference in marketing and the transition of wealth and just like, I don't know. I just feel like we're at such a vital point where everything's just shifting in the right direction. Yeah. And there is so much fucking opportunity for literally anybody, whether you've got $100,000 or you got $10. Yeah. There's opportunity. Right. And we're at a point where we've never had more knowledge at our fingertips. Like anything you want to learn, you can jump on and you can learn.
Oh, 100%. Man, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up because that was a pretty decent session.
How long was it?
Hour and 20.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. I could talk for 4 hours, so. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to share or any advice or anything?
No, I don't really have.
Drop any knowledge.
Yeah. Just, I think, in regards to the opportunity, I think, take this from me, my biggest thing is constantly moving around and creating communities in different parts of the world. And in a sense, that's networking. And I feel you guys, like, get on Instagram, start networking, that kind of thing, because I've met you guys now. Yeah, I've jumped on this podcast. I've been able to chat to you guys about your lives and my life, and it's wild.
Well, you don't even know, but we're going to go get lunch soon. Not today, but like another time.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I was like, it's like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's a little bit past lunch.
Yeah. But yeah, my full thing is just network with people.
Yeah,
like find like-minded people and chat to them. Be like, yo, man, you want to go for a coffee? Let's chat.
That's why I love this podcast, because it gives me an excuse to network with people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the prime, like, to network with, like, I've managed to talk to, like, some pretty decent people.
Yeah.
Like, through asking them to come on the podcast. So it's just cool.
And now when I go away, I'll probably meet someone that I'm like, yo, you guys would fucking froth this podcast. Like, go to it. Like, jump on it.
That's it.
And then if you guys go away, you guys will probably be like, yo, I know this guy that's into NFTs. Well, I hope so.
No, literally, though. Like, that's the thing is, like, that's why it was cool to get you on, because I think it is such a vital thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of people that are interested, but they don't know where to sort of start.
Yeah. 100%. So,
yeah. Well,
thank you. I appreciate the opportunity for you guys having me on.
No worries. So if people want to find you or they want to talk to you about NFTs, I don't know how busy you are or how much time you have to talk about them, but where can they find you?
Instagram's probably simplest place. So that's just Flynn_Howitt.
Yep.
I'm on Twitter.
Yep.
Quite a bit. That is where the space is for NFTs. So if you're not in NFTs yet and you're wanting to, just learn, jump on Twitter and start following some guys in that space.
What's your Twitter?
I think it's Howitt Flynn. I don't know, I made it ages ago. It's kind of weird.
Nobody ever knows their Twitter tag. It's
yeah, legit.
I don't even know.
I'm just winging it. But yeah, if you search Flynn Howitt, it should come up. Yeah, so same thing.
No worries.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much for all your financial advice.
No. I was about to leg it.
I'm just joking. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. For spreading knowledge and everything like that. So yeah, do you have any other questions or you're all good?
The well's all dry.
Yes.
Let's go.
No worries. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you can do us a massive favor, follow everybody. All the links will be in the description. Yeah, we appreciate you guys standing by while we had a small break, but we're ready to get back into it now. And yeah, pretty much smash it and get back on top. So thank you again. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hope you guys got lots of knowledge out of it. That is my alarm to say you need to go. But yeah, Thank you again, Flynn, for coming on. And peace out. Have a good one.
Adios.
You.